Coming up on Fulton Today, Fulton officials are doing their part to ensure that everyone stays safe when football's biggest game comes to town. We'll tell you how.
I'm Brian Robinson, outside of the Department of Registration and Elections. Now that early voting is underway, I'll explain why casting your vote ahead of the November 6th election date has its benefits.
And county officials, employees, and residents lace up their sneakers to honor the memory of a beloved commissioner. That and more starts right now on Fulton Today. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. Early voting is officially underway. For the next 3 weeks at 31 county locations, Fulton County's registered voters will be able to cast their ballot ahead of the November 6th general election. FGTV's Brian Robinson joins us with more on this story. Brian?
Shania, based on the amount of voter registration applications received so far this year, the Department of Registration and Elections is expecting a big voter turnout. That is why the department is encouraging voters to cast their ballot starting this week. For some, waiting until election day to vote is a beloved tradition. For others, the thought of waiting in a long, slow-moving line is enough motivation not to vote. The only thing that's long when it comes to early voting is the long hours. This week and next, 20 locations from Alpharetta to College Park will be open Monday through Saturday from 8:30 a.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. Starting October 29th through November 2nd, those hours are even longer, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. An additional 8 senior centers, along with Georgia State, Georgia Tech, and Atlanta Metropolitan State College, give seniors and college students, respectively, more access and convenience to cast their votes. Along with the lack of long early voting lines, voters can vote at any one of the 31 locations. Now, to make your voting experience move even more quickly, you can view a sample ballot by logging on to FultonElections.com or picking up this brochure inside the Department of Registration and Elections office here in the Government Center in downtown Atlanta. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Brian Robinson.
Thank you very much, Brian. Our other big story, the director of the Atlanta Fulton Emergency Management Agency and his team are playing a major role in keeping safe the hundreds of thousands of visitors who will call Atlanta home during the big Super Bowl. FGTV's Melissa Lewis has the story.
From now until the big day, there will be a constant flow of Super Bowl planning inside Fulton's Emergency Management Agency. The agency, along with MARTA, the Transit Security Administration, and multiple state and federal law enforcement agencies, including the Fulton County Sheriff's Department and Marshal's Department, are participating in tabletop exercises to discuss how they would react in certain scenarios.
So it's a tabletop exercise with MARTA, and it was getting them prepared for a Super Bowl. Every year they have an actual process where they do a discussion-based exercise and operations-based exercise. This year the flavor was Super Bowl. Of course, that's right around the corner. So this is the first part of the process. We were going through the a discussion-based type of a process, working through some things that we would be concerned for Super Bowl. And then in the upcoming months, we're going to actually go ahead and do a full-scale exercise with MARTA to get prepared for the Super Bowl activity.
Those concerns range from suspicious packages to civil disobedience to even a winter storm. The last time the Super Bowl was in Atlanta, the city experienced a major ice storm. With so many variables, including weather and the threat of terrorism, these exercises will help the agencies find the best way to quickly move thousands of people to safety should something bad happen.
Transportation may be the nucleus of the scenario. However, what we've learned is that things can have a regional impact that goes beyond jurisdictional lines. And so we always paint a scenario that's not only going to affect MARTA, but it's going to affect MARTA's passengers, users, other jurisdictions. And that's the kind of communication we're trying to foster.
Since Mercedes-Benz Stadium opened last year, big games such as the SEC and College Football Championship and the Major League Soccer All-Star Game have all been played there. Each brought large crowds, so this type of training is nothing new for Fulton's Emergency Management Agency. All of the departments want fans and visitors to know their help is still needed.
people should go ahead and enjoy this, but just go ahead and do the See Something, Say Something campaign. There'll be that pushed out. Make sure that Know Before You Go will be another website that'll be pushed pretty heavily as we get closer. So the NFL, working with the local host committee, will have a website to say, please go over here, take a look at what the latest and greatest information is. But we're asking every citizen, you're going to see something before we can. Use the See Something, Say Something apps that we have out there. Leverage the MARTA app that they have to go ahead and see something, say something, report something that just doesn't seem right. You will know more than anyone else what doesn't seem right because you use that mass transit resource on a daily basis.
And as Super Bowl 53 in February nears, the tabletop discussions will turn into full-scale exercises. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Melissa Lewis.
Thank you very much, Melissa. And speaking of Super Bowl planning, coming up later in our district-by-district coverage, we'll take a look at how Chairman Pitts and juvenile court judges are preparing for Super Bowl 53 and the issue of sex trafficking. Fulton Citizens University students hear from the county's justice partners about just what it takes to keep them all safe. Chief Judge Robert McBurney, District Attorney Paul Howard, Chief Magistrate Judge Cassandra Kirk, and Sheriff Ted Jackson all explained their duties to the class. The justice partners also discussed various topics like the county's growing gang population and programs that are designed to keep the jail population down and reduce the recidivism rate. The students say they learned a great deal.
I learned about the incentives that they use to make sure that we don't have repeat offenders, the programs available for inmates, the Promise Center, which sounds very promising.
It was very enlightening, a lot of information. We got to hear from the judges, the chief judges of the courts, and we also got to hear from the district attorney of Fulton County and also the public defender's office, and along with the sheriff department. So it's a lot of questions they couldn't get to, but a lot of good information about how our public safety is run in Fulton County.
Next week, the class visits Select Fulton to learn about the economic development opportunities the county has to offer. Meanwhile, Fulton's DA joins the City of Atlanta's Victim Assistance Office for the Domestic Violence Sexual Assault Resource Fair. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. The county's victim advocates from the DA's office set up shop outside the Municipal Court of Atlanta to offer information about their services.
We're here with the City of Atlanta and AVA Victim Assistance Program at the Domestic Violence Fair, representing the office, providing information to victims of crime in Fulton County, giving them information on victims' comp, the resources that we have in the office, our role and activities that we do.
A number of other domestic violence organizations also provided key information. The City of Atlanta hosts this event every year in October.
I would like to say overall a sense of hope, because you never know who's going to come up to your table. It may be a victim that needs something and did not know that that resource was there for them.
We are so glad to see the city's involvement. We appreciate Councilwoman Boone, for taking the time to come out. She's been a long-time supporter of the program, and we really appreciate her support and her advocacy on behalf of our advocates, and also the partnerships that we enjoy with the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council and Fulton County.
Both the Fulton DA's office and the County Solicitor General's office offer services for victims of domestic violence year-round. County leaders show appreciation for employees who go the extra mile.
You, in fact, are the best of the best. Thank you.
From the Fulton chairman to the county manager and department directors, Fulton employees were given a heartfelt thanks for all that they do to keep the largest county in the state operating smoothly.
The power of bringing over 100 folks that have been recognized all through 2018 as an example to all of us as to what we're trying to accomplish, what it looks like, quite frankly, how easy it can be to just do the extra thing that the customer is asking for, or greet the customer with a smile, or ensure that whatever their issue is resolved. It's not rocket science.
It feels good. I take pride in my job, and I love helping the community and being able to communicate with people really well and explain stuff.
During Customer Service Week, the county hosted multiple events, including a Service Legend Luncheon and a social hour.
This has turned out to be a good hit. We've also had some Fulton County trivia testing employees on what they know about customer service within Fulton County, the performance bonus plan, and actually our whole service delivery model.
Customer Service Week was established in 1984 by the International Customer Service Association. Congress then proclaimed Customer Service Week a national event back in 1992. And coming up on Fulton Today, why juvenile court judges wanted a sit-down meeting with Fulton's chairman about the Super Bowl 53. Details in our district-by-district coverage next. Fulton's chairman meets face-to-face with juvenile court judges about how they will collectively address the issue of sex trafficking during the Super Bowl. And another commissioner laces up her sneakers to remember a former board member. Here's this week's district-by-district coverage. We begin with Chairman Rob Pitts, who gets a warm welcome to the Fulton County Juvenile Courthouse. The at-large commissioner was greeted by the Chief Judge Juliet Scales, former Chief Judge Bradley Boyd, and Court Administrator Omatayo Ali. The group listened to the Executive Director of Youth Spark, Jennifer Swain, as she explained the real concern about sex trafficking as Super Bowl 53 approaches.
I've been working with Ms. Swain and others, for about a year now, but I've never really had an opportunity to see their operation up close and personally. So to come today and see it up close like this is really refreshing. It puts everything in perspective.
Atlanta Fulton County has the dubious distinction of having one of the highest numbers of human trafficking cases in the nation. The fear is that the Super Bowl, with the number of visitors to the region, could make matters worse.
When you have an event like the Super Bowl where thousands of people really ascend on the city, then it's really imperative that you have a collaborative approach to be able to ensure that we're protecting and letting all the visitors know that come in that Atlanta is not the place to do this. Fulton County is not the place to do this.
Youth Spark is the county's advocacy and service organization that works directly with victims of human trafficking. The chairman has pledged to give the nonprofit that operates out of Fulton's juvenile court and the judges whatever support they need to address the issue as the Super Bowl nears. District 4 Commissioner Natalie Hall celebrates the life and work of the late Commissioner Joan P. Garner by hosting the second annual Joan P. Garner Walk and Health Fair. The commissioner joined her board colleagues and the Board of Health to plan the free community event. The day of health screenings, activities for the kids, and fitness demonstrations was held at Washington Park and the Atlanta Beltline.
She advocated for access to health and for people to be able to receive the services that they need, and today is our opportunity to educate people on those Fulton County services.
I just wanted to support the cause for breast cancer awareness and to support the Joan Gardner program.
Like her predecessor, Commissioner Hall is the executive sponsor of the county's strategic priority of All People Are Healthy. And still to come, Atlanta Fire teaches county employees CPR. Stay with us, everybody. Did you know that sudden cardiac arrest is the leading cause of death in the United States, claiming some 350 lives each year? Well, Fulton County proclaimed October as Sudden Cardiac Awareness Month, and Atlanta firefighters, well, they came to the rescue to hopefully save lives.
Elbows locked and straight down.
On the atrium level of the Fulton County Government Center building,
This is a training device only.
employees practiced counting and compressing all in an effort to be able to save the life of someone experiencing sudden cardiac arrest.
We're going to train as many people as we can in how to recognize a sudden cardiac arrest, how to recognize the need for compressions, and how to use an AED.
While Atlanta Fire and Rescue set up shop in Fulton's government headquarters, commissioners in Assembly Hall declared Cardiac Awareness Month in the county.
Whereas heart disease is the leading cause of death for Fulton County citizens, and sudden cardiac arrest represents half of all deaths of people with heart disease.
Seconds and minutes matter during sudden cardiac arrest. And when you look at Fulton County statistics, it explains why the Better Outcomes Foundation nonprofit is doing its part to teach people CPR and how to operate an AED.
In 2017 in Fulton County, there were 954 out-of-hospital cardiac arrests. Of those, there were only 81 survivors, and that's an 8.4% survival rate. The national rate is 10.4, so we're a bit behind in that regard.
The county's bystander CPR rate is 39% compared to the national average of 46%. So county officials have pledged to offer training to more residents, not just in October, but year-round. Meanwhile, Fulton County also offers its employees another chance to think about their health and wellness. The Fulton County Wellness Committee hosted a cooking demonstration for employees to offer them healthy options to stay fit.
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, basically it beats having to travel to another location to have something done, but it's very convenient.
The county's Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and Kaiser Permanente partners provided tips on everything from organic meals to obtainable fitness goals. The chef prepared a cucumber quinoa salad.
You should have a salad like this every day because it's just packed with nutrients and it's loaded with flavor, and it just really helps to round out your diet. If you want to feel good, you want to feel full, you want to have a lot of energy, then you want to get a lot of plants in your diet, and this salad definitely delivers.
The Fulton County Wellness Committee offers multiple seminars and cooking demonstrations year-round as a part of its mission to keep its workforce healthy. The county believes the more they keep employees healthy, the less everyone has to pay in health care. And it was a different kind of celebration and anniversary at this event. These are Fulton employees who have supported each other for over a year in the Caregivers in the Workplace program. Fulton's Department of Senior Services offers the same program at its senior centers. However, these classes at the Fulton County Government Center are specifically for employees.
It's given me the opportunity to realize that there are others around me here in the county that actually come across some of the same concerns I come across as far as taking care of, I actually take care of my mother, and it allows me to know that I've got some peers that have the same concerns that I have.
The Caregivers in the Workplace inaugural program has been so successful that Fulton intends on extending the program for another year. And still to come on Fulton Today, a nationally beloved children's author receives high praise from local students. We'll share that with you next. For 33 years, the Milner Award has allowed local children to not only vote for their favorite book author, but to also meet one of those authors in person. This year, no different.
Do hereby promise that I will not annoy, disturb, or aggravate Mr. Curtis.
This type of fun interaction with his young audience was just one of the many ways Christopher Paul Curtis expressed his appreciation for receiving this year's Milner Award.
How did you know what segregation was?
Because I read a lot.
Very good.
Christopher Paul Curtis's books mostly combine heart and humor during some of history's dark times. On top of his Newbery Award, Christopher Paul Curtis has also received the Dorothy Canfield Fisher Award that honors excellence in children's literature and the Coretta Scott King Award for authors.
It's a tremendous honor. To win an award is a great thing, but when it's the young people who vote on it, then you know you're doing something right. So it's a real honor. And when I look at the list of people who've won it before, I'm very humbled by it and very proud of myself for winning this.
Created in 1983 by schoolteacher Vera Milner, the purpose of the Milner Award is to develop a lifelong love of reading in children. As a way of encouraging reading, every Atlanta elementary school gets to vote for their favorite author, who is then invited to be honored at a program with those same children in attendance.
The Milner Award is a very unique award in America. The kids vote for who their favorite author is, and each year the Milner Award Committee brings the author to town.
Sometimes during the year when I wonder why I do this, because it is an effort, but then when I'm here and I see the faces on the children and the excitement that this brings, it makes it all worthwhile.
The laughter and the smiles on these children's faces say it was worth their while to spend an afternoon with their favorite author. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Greg Thomas.
Wow, what a great time for those kids and for the author, clearly. Well, before we go, our reminder that we'd like to connect with you online. Be sure to follow FGTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for up-to-date Fulton County news. And you can watch a replay of this show and any other FGTV program anytime on our YouTube channel. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis Rucker. Thank you so much for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.